Now, Oxford graduate Kaiya was diagnosed with dyslexia, dyspraxia and ADHD during her degree. Now a stand-up comedian, Kaiya's teamed up with the arts collective Canvas to make a short film about her coping mechanisms growing up. The film aims to show that disability doesn't mean inability. Before we meet the performer behind it, let's take a look at the film.
I'm late to the party. I found out when I was 19 that I've got learning difficulties. My brain is what they call neurodiverse. I've got dyslexia and dyspraxia, and because everything's more powerful in threes, ADHD. What a diagnosis so late in the game does is it makes you think back. Now when I think about growing up, I recognise all these signs that have always been there. But now I know that's not how everybody else experiences things.
Just a short flavour of what you have to look forward to from the film. I'm very pleased to say Kaiya joins us in the studio. Welcome to London Live News.
Thank you very much.
Why did you want to tell your story in this way?
So, when I was diagnosed, I didn't know very much about learning difficulties at all, and I went and did loads and loads of research. And while there's quite a lot of information and help for parents and their children, I sort of felt like there wasn't the same information and the same stories for people who are older. The thing is, learning difficulties don't disappear when you leave school. And so I just started writing down everything that was happening to me, and I was just reflecting back and thinking about my experiences, and I thought, well, I want to do that for myself, but also maybe somebody else might see it and it might talk to them or speak to them about their experiences.
It must have been a really difficult time for you, and yet this short film is pretty funny stuff. Why was it important to you to have that humour in it?
I think that's sort of part of who I am. I like to make a joke. But also, it sort of did throw me a little bit. At first, I was a little bit upset, just in terms of thinking about not knowing something about myself. But when I looked into it and I spoke to other people with learning difficulties, I sort of started to realise that there's so many benefits. Like all my creative energy is sort of almost driven by it, and I think that I want to talk about the positive things, because it is a positive thing. And I think rather than being told that you're lazy or stupid or slow, look at the things that we're amazing at, because there's so many things we are amazing at.
That's a very good point indeed. And alongside the short film, you're also taking this performance to the stage. Tell us about that and what audience had to look forward to.
It's at Theatre Royal Stratford East next week, and it's just me on stage talking about my experiences. I love engaging with people one-to-one. Basically, I sort of run through my childhood history up until now, running through sort of misdemeanours and errors and all the good things and the bad stuff, by saying my story, hoping that other people come forward their stories. Well, I'm not saying that I have any, I'm in no way universal, but yeah, I hope that it will be good fun.
Something that I love about this project is you've talked about wanting to demonstrate, to show that disability doesn't mean inability. What does that mean to you? You've touched on it, but expand on that for us.
Well, obviously, I went to Oxford, which is something I'm so proud of. I still can't really believe I managed it. Obviously, the film, I think I'm so proud of that work as well. And I think that by showing, almost by visualising the way that I think, I can highlight that there's something so beautiful and so pioneering through chaos and failure, which is something that I really strive to show in my work.
It's a lesson a lot of us could learn. Kaiya, really loved to have you here. Thank you very much for joining us. And if you'd like to find out more about the stage version you heard there, it's called Everything is Going to be KO, which I love the title. It debuts at the Gerry Studio Theatre, Royal Stratford East, from January the 18th to the 20th.